Hi, this is Daniel Posney, and this is Shifting Perspectives. And the topic this morning is, do we really need to heal? And my first response is, well, you don't really, but you also don't need to put neosporin on an open cut. It's just that it feels better. You could get by without it, but it's just life is less painful. It's the short answer. Why is it that some are immersed in healing and integrating their childhood traumas and some are not? Is this healing really necessary? And can we just carry on like so many others and just be happy? Are we more broken than those who don't? Are we more virtuous by doing so? Those are all really good questions. So I'll start with the first one. Why is it that some are immersed in healing and integrating their childhood traumas and some are not? And of course, there's an answer for every single person why people do and why people don't. Some of the answers are just not for them. Some are it's easier to be oblivious of going into that pain than it is just to deal with the coping mechanism that you developed. That was my thing for a while. Is that it was easier to just keep on having a couple martinis and just keep on occupying myself with doing stuff and activities. That's why I didn't dive into things at the moment. Far as I was concerned, things were okay, and if they were not okay, that's just the way that life was. And sometimes the shit hit the fan and sometimes it didn't. And that's just the way it was. And drama of life comes along with that. And that was the idea. So for me at that time, it just didn't make any sense. Everything's cool. Wherein actually, if you would have sat me down and grabbed me by the shirt and look into my eyes and demand a real honest answer, it might have been different. For some other people, let's see, they are doing it. They're doing it in their own way, and it may not look in the way that you're used to. And getting a shaman, or going into Reiki healing, or going into inner child healing, they may be healing in the way that works for them. And the problem comes in is when us that are immersed in the healing start to judge people that are not doing it the way that we would like them to, or that we feel is the best way for healing. So it really comes back to, I always come back to that question, do we really need it? And, there's a spiritual answer and then there's a practical answer. And the spiritual answer is, no, we don't need healing. Nothing's broken. We're not even here. This is all a dream. It's all an illusion. And so the spiritual answer is, no, we're so beyond needing anything at all. And then the practical answer is, yeah, but I'm here. And this hurts sometimes. So, then comes the healing. And part of that hurt is, well, I would say 99% of it is emotional hurt. So there's some healing that can be worked out there to discover where that pain came from and how it can be healed and integrated in your life. And some of that is a little bit of reframing, or a little bit of looking at the real truth of things. So there's all these different methods that work for some people, don't work for others, but it helps a lot of people to release the pain that then causes physical pain and illness and causes hardship in their relationship. So the reason is, well, this may be a dream, but this dream hurts sometimes. And within the dream, I'm going to go into some sort of healing that will help integrate what is causing me pain right now in my relationship, in my life. So that's kind of the short answer to it, is that it's not really needed. And yet in the dream that I'm in, it sure does cause a lot of pain. And in the dream, I'm going to go ahead and do some healing. Let's see. And, the other answer is, yeah, you can just carry on like so many other, probably billions of people do, and their life is perfectly fine with them. And it's only, when we start judging that, when it causes us pain. But that's sort of the work that, that I've needed to go through too, is allow everyone to have their life, as painful as it looks to me from my perspective. It's not really my thing to judge them for not doing or doing something. That's where I kind of, my mind starts to distract me again and want to come out of myself and look at someone else. So that's the biggest one there, is realizing that nobody needs to heal except you. So that's the big one. Is what about all those people that have had rape and incest and all those things? That's not your position. It's their position. And there's even a higher perspective on this when people ask, well, how should I treat others? And then the answer is, there are no others. So that's the high perspective on that. So let's come back to the earth and back to practicality and back to the physical, and realize that, okay, so if it makes me feel better, if it makes me feel happier, that I can live a life with more love and more ease and more grace, then I'll go into that healing and go into integrating what has caused me suffering, up to a certain point. Because I know for me that all this healing is just kind of becomes a process after a while, and it can be something that kind of gets tiring. And so I need to kind of take a break from all the healing and the processing of my emotions and all that. So I go into it for a while, and then after a while, then I kind of need to like go for a bike ride or go for a hike, or do something that's other than just processing my emotions. So, I mean, I could process it all the time because my thoughts are going all the time. Let's see. Are we more broken than those who don't do healing? And that came up in my life, where I started to feel like, but the perception of me was, I'm doing all this healing. I'm immersed in this healing in this place called Sedona. And this is what I do: healing, 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 healing. Man, I must be messed up. But actually, how I felt was, I felt more healthy than anyone, because I had dove into that and looked at that, and I looked at those things that I had brushed aside, and probably other people like me had brushed aside. So really, I felt like, and I do still feel, that I'm actually more healthy than I would have been without it. So even though it looks like, well, I've been working on guilt and obligation and insignificance and blah, 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 that's only because I'm aware of it, because I'm shining the light on it. But everyone, if they have any feeling of being separate from God, if anyone has been born of the womb, you've got some kind of trauma or even perceived trauma. Even if you don't have trauma in your life, there's something to work out about feeling empathy for people that do have trauma. There's so many things that can go on there. There's always something to work out. So that's what I feel about that. It's not that I'm more broken. It's actually that I'm less broken or less fragmented than I was before, because I've looked at those different pieces. But that not better than anyone. It's just that this is my perspective, and this is the way that I've chosen, and it works for me. Are we more virtuous by doing so? So that's kind of, I guess, where I was leading into, is that definitely not more virtuous. That's something I want to like completely stay away from, is that I'm a better person because I'm involved in healing. No, that's definitely not the case. In fact, if I think I'm more virtuous, I've got more healing to do. So it's just how I feel is I just feel better about myself. I feel more in tune with who I am. That it's not something that makes me a better or worse person. It doesn't make me a different person to, well, I guess it does. It kind of reflects back differently to other people. But as far as being a better person, like on a higher scale or something, that's not what I'm talking about. It's more that it makes me feel better inside. It makes me love myself more. And that's what I reflect back to other people. So I guess that's kind of where I want to take it to, is just feels better to me. And if it didn't feel better to me, then I wouldn't do it. And because I've been on this journey for about 22 years or something, I figured out the things that really feel better to me and the things that don't, and dealt with the emotion all along the way that come up from being in this work. Look at me, I've done all this healing, I feel so bright. Yeah, okay, now you got to go do some more healing because now your ego's coming up again. So it's just kind of a move forward, pull back a little bit, move forward, pull back. And it's just not for everyone, but it is for me. I guess I'll end with that. Hope this clears up some things. Those are some pretty deep questions about healing and not being wrapped up in why other people don't heal or that they should need healing and that kind of thing. It's because it's another trap of my mind to take myself outside of my own healing and go looking at someone else. Thank you so much. That's all I got. I'll see you next time. Have a blessed day. Thank you, and I love you. Bye.